Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of the Good, Bad, and Ugly, first one of March. We had a really good week. So I want to go ahead and get into it. Let me share my screen and we'll get started. Okay. So I can't believe it's already March. Last month just flew by, I feel like. So it's time again for the first of the month, our first week here to see how we did. We ended up with 28 reviews this week in total. And out of those, 24 were positive. We had no neutral reviews and 4 were negative. Here is Soshi's data. They are a little bit behind, as is tradition. So they're off by 3 or 4, I think. So just waiting on them to update that. But since there were no bad or neutral reviews, we'll go ahead and get right into the ugly. So I will go ahead and say that 3 out of our 4 bad, ugly reviews came from Yelp. And when people post on Yelp, like you can see right here, the username only shows the first name and then the last initial. So it's really hard to find people who post through Yelp. I mean, it's virtually impossible. I think Yelp doesn't allow you to leave your last name. So whenever I get these bad reviews, I can try to go through the GroupMe and see if any of the last names I match up with the first initial or whatever, but most of the time I have to wait on them to reach out to me because there's no way for me to look this up. So 3 of these I could not find in WIMS, and I did email them, ask them to, reach out, we could resolve their issues, but I have not heard back. But just for the sake of improvement and transparency, I'm going to go ahead and just share what they said, just so we know what we had going on this week. So this customer posted this review last Saturday, and he or she said, I paid for the service. They gave me a great price, received initial date, and got no show, no call when I contacted Weedman. They said someone will contact me, and I received an email that service was canceled and I would be put back in the queue for service. Never heard again from anyone and cannot get anybody to answer. So that one's concerning to me. I'm curious to know when they signed up and when they were promised we would be out. If we told them we'd be out the next day, then that was an expectation that is kind of unattainable. So I would like to know more details about this and see really what's going on. So I'm hoping he or she reaches out to me and I can see what's going on here, because I feel like that could be a save pretty easily if we were allowed to have a second shot. This customer, Jerry L, said, I would seriously think twice before using these folks. For the past 2 years, it has been a constant battle to get them to try to stop trying to upsell me on expensive additional treatments. Phone calls, texts, more phone calls. To make matters worse, I had an accounting issue with them. They took double the amount of the authorized charge out of my account, which screwed up my fixed income budget. They finally corrected it after a couple of calls, but the damage was done. I paid half the remaining balance, and 10 days later, I had to email them, only to find they'd taken me to collections, knowing I was perfectly amendable to paying the balance. This after they basically stole money from me. Stay away from these guys. A third-rate admin setup, but a great hard sell sales pitch. I think I know why no one else in my neighborhood uses them. I feel like this one is just a case of a misunderstanding, especially with the upsell issue. I'm not sure if this person reached out before to be asked to be taken off the list, or if this is the first time that this issue's come up. That could be something that we could easily fix. And then all of the issues with the billing. Once again, if I could find this customer, I'd love to go through the account and see what really went on. But something tells me this isn't completely true. I don't think we would take her to collections over something that she was capable of paying. I'm not sure, but hopefully she reaches out to me and we will get this figured out. This could be a save too if we just explain what was going on with the billing issues and offer to take her off the campaigns. This last one, pretty short and sweet. Do not use them. They are crooks. Once again, have no idea what this is referring to. Do not know who this customer is. Cannot find a customer with that name. They have not reached out. I have a feeling it's probably about continuous service. That seems to be the biggest issue I've been seeing reviews the last week or so. It's just people not understanding that we come out year to year and they're upset when we do and they get charged for it. So that's typically what I've been seeing with these types of comments. But once again, if I find out more, I will let you know. And then our last ugly review came from Google. And this customer said, "This company is shady and they scam their customers. Poor job all around, and their system is so disconnected. All calls are outsourced so you can never reach them. I signed up with them in 2021, paid for 1 year upfront only, and that's it. Canceled last year. However, they still keep showing up and sending bills for service not done, not agreed on. Shame on the owners for running such a bootleg operation. Fix my account ASAP, remove us from your list." So looking into this account, this is a classic case of the customer just not understanding continuous service. He did not cancel, and when we came back out, he was upset that we charged him, and he thinks that we're scamming him. I was able to look up the call from when he signed up for service with Kaylin, and she 100% explained that to him. She went through the entire wrap up, so he was informed. This was not a case of us dropping the ball. We were 100% transparent. But there is good news here. Jeremy did reach out and he was able to save him. So I'm not sure of all the details, but I know that he sent him over a new quote for this year. I'm assuming it probably a little bit of a discount or something to get him back, but he said he'll remove the review and he'll come back with us. So that is a best case scenario. And I'll be looking out next week to see if it really is removed. Seems like a nice guy, just kind of confused and probably had the wrong idea about us. But that's one of the best resolutions that can happen. So great job, Jeremy. That is awesome, and we will get that removed. So now for the good. And also a lot of our good reviews came from Yelp this week too. I believe we had, I want to say 5 or 6 good ones from Yelp. So Yelp was huge for us this week. But Donnie A said, "I previously used a large, well-known lawn care company. My grass was dying and being overtaken with weeds. I switched to Weedman. My lawn is full, healthy, and 99% weed-free. I'd like to know who that company is. I would like to say it was True Green, but it makes me happy." Then we have Monica Hall. She said, "I've really enjoyed Weedman as our weed care provider for our lawn over the last few years. The reps are always helpful anytime I have questions, and recently, Jared Eveler in customer service really helped me out to get a cost-effective solution for our lawn. Thank you, Jared. Weedman does a great job keeping down the weeds in our lawn, and the customer service is icing on the cake." So that one's just all around great. And then another one from Yelp, Kirk said, "It's taken some time to get where we are. We can really appreciate the service as we look around at some of our neighbors' yards and see weeds popping up all over, sprouting up all over. Now, as we review our grass, very little to no weeds are coming up. What a relief. The service technicians seem knowledgeable and willing to answer questions." This is an example of a customer who did have the right expectations set from the beginning. He knows that it's not an overnight process. He knows that it takes a little time. And after he's seeing everyone else around him, he's realizing that, you get what you pay for. Some services, claim to do everything for cheaper and faster, and it's not always the case. So he's seeing that our services are really superior to everyone else, which I love seeing. And then the last one here, Steve said, "I was a customer 2 years ago with Weedman, canceled and tried other services, but Weedman services were superior compared to other services. So this season, I am back with Weedman, and the salesperson / quality control, Marcus Mosley, is a true professional, polite and respectful." So great job, Marcus. I'm sure that was it's a hard fought battle with these REs sometimes, getting them to come back and resolving any past issues. So great job there. Not only did you get him back, but he gave you a shout out. So that's impressive. So I did notice that most of our positive reviews this week were more focused on the ops side. And a lot of the comments mentioned how professional our techs were and how knowledgeable they were. Last week, they were more customer service focused. And while we still had great comments about that, I think now as we're getting into spring, I'm seeing a lot more comments about how great the lawns are looking. All the work that we put in over the winter time is paying off. So that was really cool to see. And now on to the review mentions. Oh my gosh, I am so proud of the effort that was put in this week. Last week we had 7 review mentions, we had 14. So that's crazy. And I have to look back, but I want to say there were 8 or 9 different people mentioned in those. So Jared had 4, Stacy had 3, and everyone else had 1 each. Stacy and Jared and Ashley have such a good system going. I've noticed that when they get a customer to sign up, they will tell them about the review process, and that customer will leave a review on Facebook, Google, and Yelp. That's why all of, like, Stacy had 3 and Jared had those 3 plus another one. So just with one customer, 3 reviews. So ask them about their process if you're not, seeing results when you're asking customers, because they have it locked down, they know what they're doing, and it's really paying off. So look at all these colors. It is crazy. We still had a good bit of ops mentioned, not so much comms, but I mean, yes, comms, because we had a lot of comments about specific reps and salespeople. So I'm just so impressed. I'm so proud that we had that many. It's absolutely crazy. So far, we still have the no names reviews taking up a pretty big chunk, but Ashley is still in the lead with 4.2%, but Jared and Stacy are getting closer, and Clark too. So, and Marcus, everyone is picking up. So I love seeing how this chart is just improving week by week. And I think this is going to be an even better bonus sale than the last week. So I'm going to go ahead and go to our name picker here. So we had a bunch of names. I tried to space out Jared's and Stacy's a little bit to give everyone a fair shake. But without further ado, let's go ahead and spin the wheel and see who wins. All right. Oh, I thought it was gonna be on Stacy for a minute. Great job, Jared. You did have the most this week. You had 4 reviews total. So, the more reviews you get, the better chance you have at winning this. So great job. And I will make sure you get your $20 bonus. So congratulations. And of course, the email would not be complete without our weekly collage. I think this picture is so beautiful. I mean, I don't see a single flaw in this lawn. It's amazing. And I'm really excited to see the reviews we get on these pictures. Because I said last week we were picking up our views on some of these pictures, and I posted all of these today that I was sent throughout the week. So I'm excited on Monday to look back and see how many views we had for over the weekend, people shopping around, looking at what we have to offer. So I'll update y'all with the number next week when I find that out. But that about wraps up this week's Good, Bad, and Ugly, the first one of this month. So thank you all for reading, for watching along, and I hope all you have a great weekend. Enjoy some time outside in this beautiful weather, and I will see you all again next week. Bye.